Good morning. The rain has stopped momentarily, but it will start again. Today we're going to take a walk from the World War II Memorial to the World War I Memorial. Every year on Memorial Day weekend, I do a war memorial hike. And I typically go from the Peace Memorial near the Capitol, which is a Civil War commemoration, and I walk west on Jefferson Drive or Madison Drive. One or the other. Sometimes I switch off. Down the mall to the World War II Memorial, and then up to the World War I Memorial at Pershing Park. Continue west on Pennsylvania Avenue, past the White House, turn south, come back down 17th Street, I think 17th Street, to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, the Korean Memorial, and then back to the Capitol at the Ulysses S. Grant Memorial, which overlooks the entire mall and really is the keeper of the peace, so to speak, given his role in bringing the Civil War to a conclusion, and a reminder that we shouldn't let that happen again. But today we're just going to do the part from the World War II Memorial to the World War I Memorial. But I'm here at the Washington Monument to start because I parked where I traditionally park for my usual start on Memorial Day weekend. So why am I here? Because May is Military Appreciation Month, all month long, not just Memorial Day, not just Veterans Day in November, but all month long. So I'm glad you could join me. Today is ridiculously iffy in terms of the weather. It could rain or it could not. It just rained. We'll see if we can dodge the raindrops today. Now, close-up view here of the Washington Monument before we head down to World War II. You can see that about 1/3 of the way up, the color of the stone changes. And that's because many years before the Civil War, and not because of the Civil War, that's a misnomer. But before the Civil War, the funding for the monument dried up, as did the construction. And then it wasn't until after the Civil War that that construction continued, and the stone came from a different quarry. And so it has aged differently. But I wanted to share from here at the base of the Washington Monument is a great view. No, hi, FC Strikers, Washington, D.C. So the view here, now we're looking kind of south-ish from the Washington Monument. The Department of Interior building you can see there, where the headquarters of the, what is it called? The Forestry Service is there. Directly in front here, that's the old amphitheater for concerts and things like that. Now during the National Memorial Day concert, they erect a huge amphitheater here on the mall. And you could just see the dome of the Natural History Museum there, American History Museum, African American History Museum, Washington Monument, lots of other government buildings over there, and then just a peek of the World War II Memorial where we're headed today. Why are at half-mast? I don't know. I don't know. I often don't know. So I'll have to look that up. Someone in chat will probably look it up way before I do. It's not only for, extremely well-known, American leaders. Sometimes the flags are at half-mast, and I don't know why. It's quite frequent. Hello, Gulgiaz too. Nice to have you join me today. So just for those of you who maybe haven't visited Washington, D.C. or are thinking about it, great place to visit. All along the National Mall, which, is our great big green space for memorials and museums, there is parking, especially on weekends. On Sundays, the parking is free at the museum and the memorials side of town. When you get up into other parts of town, you'll see parking garages. Check out the rates. See if you can get street parking cheaper. Some of the garages are ridiculous. Like $45 a day for parking is a little much. It's a lot. Here, street parking, if I'm not here on a Sunday and I do have to pay for street parking, it's like, I don't know, $4 for 2.5 hours or 3 hours. It's really not that bad. So, and there's plenty of places where you don't have to pay to park either. There are residential neighborhoods all throughout. Hello, go guys. There's a residential neighborhoods everywhere, and you can find parking there too. And those are also great places to wander around. And I've done several videos on the residential areas around Washington, D.C. Hey, go guys, no problem. Playfulness is fine, but this is a history stream. I'm a historian, and I do little walks. Another reason, or another, I guess, activity today is also, I guess, coincidentally, to commemorate Military Appreciation Month, our film club stream today will feature war films. So we're doing a special today. We're not focusing on one film. Stasis Geek and I are going to share our top recommendations for war films. We don't discuss ahead of the stream. So it's possible we might have a few of the same on the list, but more often than not, we do have really different picks. So tune in to Stasis Geek's channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Time today. That's 8 p.m. UK time. And check out Film Club. We will be talking about war films. So I'm walking now west from the Washington Monument. Washington Monument here. We might get some sunrise lighting. We just might. Maybe it'll peek through the clouds. So we're heading west from the Washington Monument, and I can already see that the World War II memorial fountains are not going right now. So that's a bit of a disappointment. We will, of course, come back in full summer and do a fountain tour of Washington, D.C., because there are some good ones. Now, chat, please let me know if a raindrop, I'm not using my umbrella right now. If a raindrop hits the lens, let me know. Looks like the picture is okay, but I'll have to dry it off if it gets wet or foggy this morning. I'm leaning against using the umbrella because then you'll hear the noise of the rain, which some people like and some people don't. But here we're approaching the World War II Memorial. Now, so much publicity and news coverage around this memorial as it was being developed many years ago. Many people felt it was built too late, but the National Capital Planning Commission, which is the organization that approves monuments and memorials and other architecture in our nation's capital, has a really strict policy of waiting for historical perspective. And I think that is really important. There were so many recent events with people clamoring for a memorial. Well, you need time for historical perspective. And for the National Capital Planning Commission at the time, I believe that was 25 years. And that's okay. Because when you look here at our National Mall and in other places around Washington, we want to make sure that we are giving proper place and perspective to history. And while there are some truly historic events that we know at the time will have their place in history, like World War II, it's important to abide by the process so that the commemoration of that event can match the historical significance. So that was one bit of controversy here. The second bit of controversy, well, there was a lot. The second bit of controversy was comparing this memorial to that for World War I. And the prior World War I memorial was 100% inadequate. No offense to General Pershing and all of his contributions, but Pershing Park by itself was not significant to mark the significance of World War I. And so as World War II memorial was being designed and built, that actually helped the effort to get the World War I memorial up to what we think is more fitting standard. And we'll talk